Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week live on Facebook. Well, Happy New Year everyone. Happy 2021. And I don't know about you, but this is a year that I have really been anticipating. I know that 2020 has been challenging for almost all of us, and I'm usually not a big New Year's guy, but I have to admit this year I'm particularly excited and hopeful about the new year ahead. You know, I was thinking about this too, about this whole idea of hope. Just because we tend to turn a page on a calendar, but it's really that part of the year where we really, or that part of our lives where we really do have a whole new set of hope and aspirations for each coming year. And what's interesting about that is because of that, many of us then will create New Year's resolutions as a result of keeping that hope alive throughout the year and really making positive changes in our lives. And I was reading something actually just the other day that said, interestingly enough, that 25% of people who make New Year's resolutions have given up on them in the first 7 days of January. 25%. And that usually within a month or two after that, or maybe even weeks, the rest of the people, those resolutions have gone by the wayside. So it got me thinking, what's going on that doesn't allow us to not only have the hope moving forward into the new year, but also take action to really make something happen around it? So what I've done is I've come up with 4 ideas of how we can keep hope in our New Year's plans and our intentions for the new year so we can really have the solid results we want. And it's basically an acronym. So H stands for have a vision and a plan. I think many of us are really great about dreaming what we want to have, and we get excited about it, and we set those intentions or those resolutions for the new year because we have this vision, but then we fall short because we don't have a plan. And we've often probably heard that a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? So when we have these visions in place, it's so important for us to have a plan that are the daily and weekly and monthly activities that we can do on a consistent basis to make those happen. You know, when we are motivated and we have this vision that we want to create, we have the motivation. It's easy to take action, but then over time that wanes. And so what I find is that being committed to action helps us keep our motivation. So it starts with motivation that breeds action, but then action breeds motivation, continuously going on that cycle. So where do you have an opportunity now where you have a vision and an intention that you've set for this new year and flesh it out with some action steps and some daily and weekly tasks that'll keep you on course? O stands for being open to how it will unfold. I mean, I guess if 2020 taught us anything, it's that we have to be a little flexible in how we work with things. I mean, how many of us had to pivot in our businesses and our lives just in order to thrive the way we wanted to? And things may never go back to how they ever were. So being able to have that flexibility of how we deal with things is such an important trait. And one of my favorite quotes of 2020 was from my good friend Kyoshi Dave Kovar, who's a martial arts teacher and practitioner extraordinaire. And he said, we must be stubborn in our goals, but flexible in our methods. So think about that. Stubborn in our goals, but flexible in our methods. And it got me thinking, I've often heard that if you talk to any airline pilot, when they've set their flight plan, but when they're up in the air, even when they're on autopilot, 99% of the time they're off course. They have to be making adjustments in order to get to their destination. And the same is true for us. So when you have got that plan, you're putting it into action, make sure that you're open for things changing and making some pivots, because sometimes that's the best thing that could ever happen to us. P stands for persistent and consistent action. Persistent and consistent action. I think that one of the reasons that so many of us have difficulty in following through on our intentions for the new year is we look at it in a broad, huge, obstacle that we need to overcome, or this huge thing that we need to do, and it becomes overwhelming. But what we want to do is we want to break it down into small, digestible chunks that we can just be consistent on acting upon each and every day. You know, some of us in the new year, it's time to get in shape, right? And so we've been sedentary for a while, and now we're going to say, hey, we're going to hit the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours at a time. And what happens is we're not able to sustain that way of being because it's such a shock to our system. But what if rather than 6 days a week, we chose 2 days a week and 20 to 30 minutes at a time? And we started at it slowly. But what happens is when you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you can complete, even if it's a small task, you begin to build momentum. And you also, importantly, begin to build trust in yourself. And even if it's a little thing, a little bit of something is better than a lot of nothing. So persistent and consistent action. And then finally, E stands for expect your unexpected good. Expect your unexpected good. You know, I know this might sound even a little Pollyannish, but what if we went into the new year expecting that things are going to work out for us? And even when they don't, be grateful for those as well. Because think about the times in our lives when we have met obstacles. Number one, I can almost guarantee you those are probably the times in your life you're most proud of that you're able to overcome an obstacle. And number two, sometimes some of those roadblocks cause us to be flexible in our methods, just like we did in the second element, and it sets us on a maybe a little bit different path to our intention that was way better than we ever could have planned for. So there you have it, my friends. That's my way of instilling and maintaining hope for our dreams and aspirations in the new year. Have a vision and a plan. Be open to how it will unfold. Be persistent and consistent in our action. And then finally, expect your unexpected good. And I'll tell you what, if this served you, and if you're looking to have a breakthrough in your life in 2021 and beyond, check out the link below to my new online course called the Breakthroughs Course, the Mind of a Champion's Breakthrough Course. And this is where I take you through 10 specific steps on how you can have a breakthrough in those things that you're most hopeful for occurring in the new year. So there you have, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and share. And this has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching. And we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.